Hook. 7 people. 1 week. A bottle of Tylenol from a grocery store shelf. In the fall of 1982, someone walks into Chicago area stores, pulls capsules from sealed bottles, laces them with enough potassium cyanide to kill 3 times over, and puts them back. No note. No motive. No warning. The killer is never caught. And the way you buy every single pill, every capsule, every tablet today, that is their legacy. So who did this? Background. Chicago, 1982. The city is a working-class powerhouse, steel, commerce, neighborhood stitched together block by block. It is also a city where trust is currency. You trust the grocery store. You trust the pharmacist. You trust the red and white bottle of extra-strength Tylenol sitting on the shelf because why wouldn't you? Johnson & Johnson manufactures it. It is the most recognizable pain reliever in America. Families keep it in medicine cabinets from Evanston to Oak Lawn. Tylenol, acetaminophen in capsule form, dominates the market. It is gentle. It is reliable. It is everywhere. Supermarkets stock it. Discount stores stock it. By 1982, Tylenol commands 35% of the entire over-the-counter pain reliever market. That is not a product. That is an institution. Then September arrives. Late summer heat still lingers over Cook County. School is back in session. People are reaching for headache relief, cold medicine, the ordinary remedies of ordinary life. Nobody is thinking about poison. Nobody is thinking about a predator moving silently through store aisles with a plan so simple and so devastating that it will rewrite federal law, restructure an entire industry, and haunt investigators for over 4 decades. The victims are not connected. They do not know each other. They share only one thing: they each reach for a bottle of Tylenol. That is all it takes. The stage is set. The clock is already running. And somewhere in the Chicago metropolitan area, someone already knows what is inside those capsules. Before we go further, I need to say something. These are real people. Mary Kellerman was 12 years old. Paula Prince was a flight attendant with her whole life ahead of her. The Yanus family lost 3 members in 48 hours. This case gets studied in business schools and criminology courses, and sometimes, too often, the victims become footnotes. Background scenery for a fascinating mystery. That's not what we do here. These 7 people trusted something as basic as a bottle of medicine, and someone weaponized that trust. They deserve to be remembered as people, not puzzle pieces. Deep dive. September 28, 1982. Mary Kellerman is 12 years old. She wakes up with a sore throat and a runny nose, the kind of morning that happens to every kid. Her parents give her a single extra-strength Tylenol capsule. Standard. Routine. She collapses within the hour. By the next morning, Mary Kellerman is dead. The same day, 27-year-old Adam Yanus comes home from work in Arlington Heights with chest pain. He takes Tylenol. He collapses in his kitchen. Paramedics rush him to Northwest Community Hospital. He is pronounced dead. His cause of death is initially listed as a heart attack. He is young, but it happens. Then it gets worse. Adam's younger brother Stanley and his wife Teresa arrive at the Yanus family home the next day to grieve. Someone offers them Tylenol, from the same bottle Adam used. Stanley is 25. Teresa is 19 and newly married. Both take capsules from that bottle. Both collapse. Both die within hours. 3 members of one family. 1 bottle. No one connects the dots yet. Meanwhile, across the Chicago suburbs, the death toll climbs in silence. Mary Rayner, 27 years old and just days postpartum, takes Tylenol for a headache in Winfield. She dies. Mary McFarland, 31, takes Tylenol during a break at her job at an Illinois Bell office in Lombard. She dies at the office. Paula Prince, 35, a United Airlines flight attendant, is found dead in her Chicago apartment. A Tylenol bottle sits on her bathroom counter. The receipt shows she bought it the night before at a Walgreens on North Wells Street. 7 people. 7 separate purchases. 7 separate moments of ordinary trust. The connection surfaces through a stroke of investigative luck. Nurse Helen Jensen is Arlington Heights' only public health official. She is called to investigate the Yannis deaths, 3 people from one family, all dead within 24 hours. She visits the house. She finds the Tylenol bottle with a store receipt still attached, purchased the same day Adam died. She counts the capsules. 6 are missing. She hands the bottle to investigator Nick Pichos. Pichos calls Edmund Donahue, Deputy Chief Medical Examiner for Cook County. Donahue has a hunch. He tells Pichos to smell the open bottle. Pichos does. He detects something faint, something bittersweet, the unmistakable almond-like scent of cyanide. Chief Toxicologist Michael Schaefer tests the remaining 44 capsules. 4 of them contain potassium cyanide, a nearly 3 times the lethal dose packed into each one. Each capsule is a death sentence. Authorities hold an emergency press conference. Do not take Tylenol. Any Tylenol. Anywhere. The announcement detonates across Chicago like a bomb. Within hours, police are driving through neighborhoods with loudspeakers. Television stations interrupt programming. Johnson & Johnson pulls 31 million bottles of Tylenol from store shelves nationwide, a recall that costs the company over $100 million. The FBI, the FDA, and the Chicago Police Department launch a joint investigation. Over 100 agents and detectives flood the case. The forensic picture that emerges is methodical and chilling. The cyanide capsules are not random, they are deliberate. Someone has opened the capsules, replaced the acetaminophen powder with potassium cyanide, resealed them, and returned the bottles to store shelves across multiple locations in the Chicago suburbs. The contaminated bottles come from different stores, different lot numbers, different distribution points. This rules out a manufacturing contamination. This is tampering. This is intentional. This is murder. The geographic spread, Elk Grove Village, Arlington Heights, Winfield, Lombard, Chicago itself, suggests the perpetrator moves freely across the metropolitan area. They have access to multiple retail locations. They are patient. They are organized. And they leave almost nothing behind. One name surfaces fast. James William Lewis, a New York City resident with a history of fraud and a grudge against corporate America. Lewis sends a letter to Johnson & Johnson claiming responsibility for the murders and demanding $1 million to stop the killings. The FBI traces the letter. They arrest Lewis in December 1982 in a New York public library where he has been living on the run. But here is where the case fractures. Lewis insists the letter is a hoax, a cynical attempt to extort money from a corporation he despises, not a confession to murder. Investigators dig into his background. They cannot place him in Chicago during the critical window. They cannot connect him to potassium cyanide. They cannot find a single piece of physical evidence linking him to the tampering itself. Lewis is convicted of extortion in 1983 and serves 13 years in federal prison. He is never charged with murder. He dies in 2023, still maintaining his innocence in the killings. The investigation does not stop with Lewis. Investigators look at disgruntled employees. They look at competitors. They look at individuals with chemistry knowledge and access to cyanide compounds. They conduct over 12,000 interviews. They test over 1,700 Tylenol bottles. They follow hundreds of leads into dead ends. The cultural shockwave is immediate and permanent. Johnson & Johnson's response becomes a business school case study in crisis management. They cooperate fully with authorities. They recall every bottle. They redesign their packaging from the ground up. When Tylenol returns to shelves in November 1982, just weeks after the murders, it comes in triple-sealed packaging, a foil seal over the bottle mouth, a plastic shrink-wrap band around the cap, and a sealed outer box. The tamper-evident era is born. Congress moves with rare speed. The Federal Anti-Tampering Act passes in 1983, making it a federal crime to tamper with consumer products. The FDA issues sweeping new packaging regulations. The entire pharmaceutical and food industry is forced to redesign how products reach consumers. Every cotton seal you have ever pulled from a bottle of aspirin, every